Okay, let's have a look at Sunrisers Hyderabad and how they look going into this year's IPL. Just one change from the squad as it looked going into this tournament, and that's Jack Edwards is out with an injury, so he's pulled out and replaced by David Payne. Ultimately, I don't think it's going to affect their lineup. Let's have a look at that lineup. Let me know, by the way, if you disagree with what I think Sunrisers' best lineup is. Now, I don't think you're going to have any arguments with me putting Abhishek Sharma up at the top, with Travis Head, followed by Ishan Kishan and Heinrich Klaasen. Those four, there's no arguments. But now it's going to get interesting. I'm going to skip 5 for a second, and I'm going to slot Nitish Kumar Reddy in at 6, Aniket Verma in at 7. I don't think you're going to disagree with me so far. Then I'm going to put in Pat Cummins. We'll come back to that. I'm going to put in Harshal Patel. Next, I want a spinner. And it could be one of 3, I think. Last year, Sunrisers played Zishan Ansari, the leg spinner, a lot. And they clearly saw him as a promising option. Also, I've heard very good things about the young left-arm wrist spinner, Cranes Feletra. But for this side, I've gone for Harsh Dubey. Left arm finger spin, maybe a bit more control, gives you a bit more with the bat potentially as well. He played a few games for Sunrisers at the back end of last season, and I think they're going to go with him. Then I'm going to put in Jaydev Unadkat, and this is where things get tricky. I need one more bowler, and I need a middle order batter. But I've only got one overseas spot left. Now, Sunrisers spent a lot of money on Liam Livingstone. And they used Kamindu Mendis in that let's just be responsible if everything's fallen apart in the top order role. And I think Kamindu Mendis did a really good job last year, actually. Will he get the nod? Will Liam Livingstone get the nod? Well, I'm going to suggest something different. I want an overseas bowler. I want Ishan Malinga. And if you'd been reading about SLC doing funny things with requiring fitness tests at the last minute for their players to get their NOCs to play in the IPL, Sunrisers fans, don't panic. Kamindu Mendis and Ishan Malinga have both passed their fitness tests and they're cleared to play in the IPL. So no worries there. I just think Ishan Malinga looked really good last year for Sunrisers and just gives them more of a wicket-taking threat. Because I worry that Jaydev Unadkat, Harshal Patel's form can come and go. You know, Harsh Dubey is a relative newcomer to the league. I think Ishan Malinga is someone that Sunrisers really need just to provide a bit of penetration. Now, there's one thing that might affect our decision here, and that's this. Pat Cummins is not available for the start of this tournament. Dan Vettori said that he expects Cummins to be back after about 10-12 days. So he will be back, but he's not going to start the tournament. So what happens if we take Pat Cummins out? Things get interesting. That's what happens. I'm going to use that overseas spot to bring back in that number 5 overseas batter. And I know Sunrisers spent a lot of money on Liam Livingstone. I just don't trust him in the IPL. Last year he had an awful time at RCB, and I don't think the IPL is made for him. But I was really impressed with Kamindu Mendis, so I think he might start. Now, that leaves number 8, and we've got no overseas spots left. So I think Salil Arora might get a game or two here. Now, he's 23 from Punjab, hard-hitting wicket-keeper batter. And actually, in the side Mushtaq Ali, he hit the most sixes in the whole tournament. He hit more sixes than Ishan Kishan. He hit more sixes than Abhishek Sharma. So I think he's really exciting to come in at 8. The only problem with this lineup is how much you trust the bowling of Harsh Dubey, of Nitish Kumar Reddy, and of Kamindu Mendis. Because you kind of need to get 8 overs out of the 3 of them. And maybe that's a stretch. Throw in Abhishek Sharma as well. I think his bowling maybe is a little bit underused sometimes by SRH. But that's my lineup. I think when Pat Cummins comes back in, again, that's where things are going to be interesting. Does Cummins come in for Kamindu Mendis with the order shuffling about? Does Pat Cummins come in for Ishan Malinga? Also, by the way, what SRH could do is not have Kamindu Mendis, but play Bryden Carse as a like-for-like replacement for Pat Cummins. Some of that kind of heavy back-of-a-length stuff through the middle overs, and he provides you a bit with the bat as well. I think Camilo Mendes is more useful in this lineup though, and I'm excited to see if Salil Aurora can replicate what he's been doing in the SMAT. What do you think of this lineup? I mean, that top order is going to be a lot of fun sometimes, but it's going to fall apart sometimes. The question is, which sometimes are going to be more sometimes than the other sometimes? Either way, I think it'll be a fun time. Anyway, what do you think of this side? Let me know in the comments what changes you would make. Firstly, with Pat Cummins in the side, and secondly, for these first couple of weeks without Pat Cummins. Also, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel because we're here throughout the IPL doing lots of fun things. I'll see you later.